Another day, another time for us to talk about Manchester United. How has your week started? Is it awesome? My name is Webb. Welcome to the hotspot, and thank you for being here with us as we grow this community of Manchester United supporters. Now, great news coming through from our youngster, that is Kobbie Mainoo, who posted something, that image interesting on his Instagram, revealing something that not so many knew. He was the captain of the England under-19 team. He led them out of the tunnel for that game that they did win by 3 goals to 2 against Japan. Now, it was an interesting one, certainly knowing that this 18-year-old boy is captaining players who are mostly older than him by a year. It shows you about his leadership abilities, but also the trust that so many people have got in him, including the manager of the under-19s. Isn't that amazing? But what will be more amazing is you to subscribe to the hotspot right now, because trust me, where we're headed towards Jan, it's going to get in thick and fast. You might not have time to subscribe. Yeah, news will be flowing left, right, and center. You might want to do it now as early as you can. Anyhow, let's get into this Kobbie Mainoo talk. I love the fact that this boy is proving to be something different. I'm not sure we've seen so many players, not just at Man United, but at any club at that age, 18, being trusted with such huge responsibilities. Right now, what's happening with Kobbie Mainoo, and I know most people have been asking me about his fitness and his return. He's not injured as it is now. He's just trying to be uh, you know to get minutes into his feet, because when a player is injured for some time, especially such injuries like knocks, hamstrings, and what have you, a player needs a certain minimum number of minutes to be able to come back and compete at the highest level. And that's why you see Eric Ten Hag and his team are reintroducing Kobbie Mainoo slowly. He's young, he's only 18, meaning his body needs a bit of time to adapt to the physical demands of a league like the Premier League. So he has got to be tried in several games. That's why he has been playing in the Champions League with the under 21s. He played against FC Copenhagen. Uh, he has been playing for England. I think he has played 2 games for England in the international break in the under 21s, captaining them for one of those where he played about 70 minutes, 76 minutes of the second game, the 3-2 win against Japan. An important game there, a victory there for England. Earlier on, they won by 6 goals to 0. He came on as a substitute. I think it was against Gibraltar. So it shows you they are trying to get minutes for him. So he has played over 90 minutes in this international break so far. And there's another game coming through tomorrow on Tuesday. So he's a bit trying to get back to that space where he can play football, so that by the time he comes to play in the toughest league in the world, in the Premier League, he has got a couple of minutes in his feet, and then he can come in and give something. That's why Eric Ten Hag, in reintroducing him, he's keeping him on the bench. He has been on the bench, I think, for the past 3 consecutive Man United games in the Premier League, but not playing. So it's a good way to restart him, to reintroduce him. Of course, now as supporters, we'll be excited about seeing him there, because we want him. We are hoping that he can play. But I think you understand when Eric Ten Hag is trying to protect him and reintroduce him. He's a young player. You saw against that game against Real Madrid, a small tackle onto him, and he's injured. I mean, he's 18. His body is not yet there. He looks physical, but he's still young, and his muscles have got to mature and be able to adapt to the physical demands of the Premier League. But in terms of his football, no one has got questions about Kobbie Mainoo and his abilities. In fact, I look at him as a future leader of this Man United team. If he's captaining his national team now, under 18, I look at him as a future leader, a future captain of Man United. I hope he's protected by the club, because I feel he's the player that United should be building on. I think as we do, look at that restart of the entire whole Man United project, I think him, Rasmus Højlund, and Mason Greenwood, who is in exile, are the players we should be focusing on to rebuild this club. But you love to see it. You love to see this boy shining, and putting on such performances. Paul Scholes made it clear the problem that Manchester United has got is in the middle. And I've said it here before. Of course, many of you believe some of these things if you hear them from legends like Paul Scholes. But I've said it, the biggest problem at United is in the middle. The midfield of United. Of course, I don't want to go into the centre back, because that we know United needs to buy a big centre back. And of course, there are talks of so many players. I'll talk about those later. But I think for me, the midfield issue in United is such a huge problem, because we easily leak through the middle. So Kobbie Mainoo coming, if we don't have Casemiro, and by the way, there is talk that he could actually play against Everton. There is belief that he could play against Everton. So his return is imminent, at least for United. But it's good to see that he's getting minutes for his national team, where he's captain. That's for the England under 21s. Let me know what you think. Your expectation of this boy. I think about Kobbie Mainoo as a young, not N'Golo Kante per se, because I think he's a different player from N'Golo Kante. I think Mainoo is better on the ball and he's more entertaining. I think he's better with the ball. Kante was good, but largely to steal the ball and just give it to the nearest person to try and orchestrate things going forward. Because he's not, oh yes, whereas he has had a few assists and scored a few goals, he's not really that kind of player you look at and feel, you know, you're looking at a fancy midfielder. There is a certain level of fanciness to Kobbie Mainoo that you love to see. He's a different mold of player. I would run out of superlatives to describe him. He's only 18. That's why I don't want to sit here and praise him a lot. But it doesn't stop me from talking about his potential. He has got huge potential, and everyone sees it. He has thrown in the ring for himself as a starter at Man United in such a senior team. And at a time like this, when you're struggling in all departments, when the would-be senior players are not performing, so obviously, if he's given the chance, he's ticking boxes now, showing his leadership abilities. His physical abilities do not need to be questioned. They are glaring. Everyone can see. So I feel like everything about Kobbie Mainoo is exciting, and you love to see. You want to be there at the time when he returns and he's able to play fully for Man United. And Everton on the 26th, that is next Sunday, could be that team that he might be facing. And we'll be now beginning to look at a more organized United, because on the same game we expect Luke Shaw to return. Hoyland could be there. If we've got Kobbie Mainoo now ready and fit to go and ready to go, I don't expect to see Scott McTominay playing in that role. Put there Kobbie, because he has got the physique, but also the skill and the technical abilities to play. Maybe not as advanced as Scott McTominay, but in terms of his skill, probably he's better for me than Scott. But also, he will not be judged by so many if he came out there and played. So for me, I think I'll be excited to see him play. I don't have any reservations about his abilities and what he can add to Manchester United. If United correct the midfield and we get one centre back in Jan, and I'll tell you about which centre back we could be looking at. Of course, there was talk of Jean-Claude Todibo, there was Tapsoba, and what have you. But I'll tell you a new emerging one that United is being linked with. But for me, I think the return, the full fitness of Kobbie Mainoo, the return of Luke Shaw, the return of Wan-Bissaka who came back earlier, Rasmus Højlund becomes fully fit. I feel like slowly but surely United is improving. Luke Shaw returning to United will improve us by, I think, more than double, because, like I've been saying, Luke Shaw is the one player, the one organizer in that United team, especially in the back line. He's such a technically gifted player that he organizes us even going forward. So if we have Luke Shaw back on the left and Wan-Bissaka is there on the right, then we put Kobbie Mainoo in the middle. I don't care who is in the back line, whether it's Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans, or Harry Maguire, okay, Evans is injured, but whether it's Maguire and Varane or whoever, or Lindelof, whoever it is, because Lindelof played in the international break for Sweden. I don't care who it is. I think we'll be firm. Even Andrew Nana will look more confident in between the sticks if you've got such players there. So that's it. For you who have been asking about Kobbie Mainoo and his injury update, he could be returning for that game against Everton. So be sure to follow and see what exactly is going to happen. Will Ten Hag be putting him on the pitch? He has been there, but on the bench. But after captaining his England under 19s at 18, is he ready and ripe? Well, hotspot, subscribe, comment section, drop your opinion. Thank you.